Welcome back. Now, Tata Motors has its sights set on becoming one of the top passenger vehicle brands in the country's auto industry. The Indian car maker has returned to the local market after its failed attempt and exit 6 years ago. It returns as Chinese car makers gain popularity with South African consumers. Thato Magasa, CEO of Tata Motors Passenger Vehicles in South Africa, joins us with more detail behind the group's second attempt at winning South Africans over. Tata, thanks so much for your time this afternoon. I see you are wearing a reflector. A little birdie told me that the first batch of cars have landed in the country.
Yes, that's absolutely correct. So we are at our Devon port, receiving our first batch of vehicles. We had such a warm welcome from the port authorities here, and an exciting time for us following our brand launch just 2 days ago.
All right, now let's talk about the timing of the move. Right back after 6 years, well, we are seeing a recovery in the new vehicle sales market following, on from those rate cuts that are coming through. Many households are still under pressure.
Yes, so if you look at the range of Tata vehicles that we are planning to bring into our country, it speaks to exactly that. You've got some really attractive compact hatchbacks that you are able to offer for first-time car buyers, and across sort of consumers' affordability levels, we are able to offer crossovers and SUVs that are able to meet consumers' needs.
And talk to me then about how you'll be tackling competition, because Tata won't be the only one that's appealing to that, budget-friendly consumer that is looking for, I guess, a lower-end car.
Yeah, so two parts. I think you see that consumer preferences are changing in our market. There's a lot of demand for vehicles that have sort of good-looking designs with advanced technology within them, and of course having good value for money. Now, with that, of course, that's two of those pillars. If you're talking about advanced designs and cutting-edge technology, Tata has an abundance in its vehicle. But where we also plan to sort of differentiate ourselves is having vehicles across the range that have 5-star safety ratings on all of its SUVs and crossovers, and a 4-star safety rating, of course, on a very entry-level Tiago. With that, we are looking at our after-sales value proposition, which is extremely important as well, to ensure that the ownership experience is very differentiated from what you would have been accustomed to from the past.
All right. Talk to me about what makes this comeback different. Perhaps we can also reflect on the lessons learned from the last time those passenger vehicles, the Tata ones, of course, were in South Africa about 6 years ago.
Yeah, so if you have to go back to 2004 when the first Tatas arrived at this very same terminal port, it would have been our Xenon Bakkies that would have come in, and that spoke quite a lot to how the brand started in South Africa. Very much a commercial brand, and then we had some passenger vehicles coming in as part of that value proposition. Today, you've got two distinct different businesses. You've got a passenger and EV business, which is solely focused around bringing vehicles that meet end consumer needs, and the commercial business is really separate outside of that and has its own unique value proposition for its end consumer. So what we'll be focusing on introducing to South Africans is a pure consumer-centric focused offering in the vehicles and the overall value proposition that we'll put forward.
All right. Now, talk to me about plans around a production plant. I know right now that's not on the cards, but when thinking of the future, is that something that's, is that a plan that's being thought of, or would the company rather prioritize partnerships through distribution centers at this point?
Yeah, so I think the very first thing you always have to focus on is setting yourself a very good and solid base in the country. As part of our midterm plans, we are looking just to set up that base in South Africa in terms of the volumes, market share, and car park growth. And then from then on, you can just have a look at how you can sort of advance your business model going forward.
All right, and talk to me then about that partnership, the distribution partnership with Motors. Now, there are plans to expand from 40 to 60 outlets by 2026. Does this speak to the group's confidence within the SA market?
Yes, I believe so, definitely. So Tata, is starting right now with 40 dealerships that you're starting off, Part Motors, and also some key partners that will be taking up Tata dealerships going forward. But Motors has been quite committed to supporting the launch of Tata. It is the exclusive distributor of the Tata brand, and has also been a distributor of brands such as Hyundai, Kia, and Renault in South Africa, which those partnerships have been around for decades. So it shows that it's quite committed to the brand, and we are quite excited as heading up the distribution for Tata under Motors to then grow this brand in South Africa.
Let's look at the market share you're looking at capturing. I saw that the group is looking at capturing around 6 to 8% of that market in the next 5 years.
Yeah, so I think the exact words we used was that's part of our midterm plan to capture sort of a strong market share over the next sort of few years. And the idea there is that if you look at the range of vehicles that we want to have a market coverage in the passenger car market of around 85-86%. And with the value proposition that you'll bring in some of the key volume segments, we've got quite aggressive ambitions to obviously take up sort of top tier positions within the segments that we compete in.
Tata, there's also been a growing move into hybrids and EVs globally. Are there plans to launch Tata EV models or hybrid models in the country?
So Tata is now sitting at the third biggest sort of volume seller in India with over 13% market share in its entire range, but also it is the best-selling EV brand in its local market. We know that our EV market is still at a nascent level in South Africa, but we've got the opportunity, when the time permits, then to bring in EVs across the range. The strength of the Tata EV brand is that on almost every single one of its ICE vehicles that you're bringing in the country, there is then a EV option then to also introduce to South African consumers, which gives you, again, a very differentiated value proposition.
All right, let's leave it there, Tata. Thanks so much for your time and just walking us through the plans for Tata in the country. Now, that was Thato Magasa, CEO of Tata Motors Passenger Vehicles in South Africa.